Good morning, one and all. Welcome back to Alman House Grammar and English lessons. Today we will do some revision on vocab and some grammar. Okay, so we discussed these exercises under the story of the week, which was Moonhawk, written by Ben Bover. Okay, so the first page we're gonna run through quickly is page 362 that deals with the vocab. Okay, so in this exercise over here, you are asked to choose a word that can replace the underlining words in the sentences. So in number one, the sun shone into the narrow valley on the moon. So a narrow valley on the moon can be replaced by a Ryle. Okay. In the second sentence, Justin walked with effort as he grew tired in the hot sun. Okay, so walked with effort can be replaced with trudged. Number three, my brother picked out an unusually small animal as his favorite of the litter. So unusually small animal can be replaced with the word runt. Runt. Okay. Number four, Tina Tina became Tina became unsteady when she tried to walk in a space suit. So became unsteady can be replaced with the word staggered. And number five, Lisa mocked her brother at the dinner table. So mocked can also be replaced by taunted. Taunted. And number six, the thundercloud hung threateningly above them. So hung threateningly can be replaced with the word loomed. Okay. So in the second part of this exercise, you are requested to choose the word from the box that best matches each clue, and these are your clues over here. And you should write the word over here. So the first one, this is a ditch, can be the word that can be written down is trench, trench. Number eight, you are doing this when you call on your own courage. Uh, this clue, we can use the word summoning for number eight. And you might have walked like this when you were tired. The word trudged can be written down here. And the last one, you might have walked like this after becoming dizzy. And the word staggered can fit in this particular question of the year, staggered. So now we're going to go to the second vocab exercise, which is on page 366. So on this particular page, the page deals with synonyms, okay? And a synonym is basically a word that means similar to each other. So words that has the same or similar meanings would be considered a synonym. And the opposite of a synonym is an antonym, and an antonym basically is words that have opposite meanings. Okay, so this vocab exercise will deal with synonyms. Okay, so you are required to read the following passage about a vacation on the moon, then complete the analogies below. Use context clues to help you find the answers. So we just doing some revision over here. So number one, a peak, a mountaintop as a valley. We can basically write down the word Ryle over here. Summoning, we can write the word rousing. Hill, mound as a trench or a ditch. Number four, taunted, we can write the word mocked. And number five, lurch as balance poised, we can write the word staggered. So just to recap here, number one, we can write down the word Ryle. Number two, we can write down the word rousing. And three, we can write down the word trench. And four, we can write down the word mocked. And five, we can write down the word staggered. Okay, so that wraps up our portion with regards to the vocabulary. Okay, So now we will just jump into the grammar quickly. Okay, so the grammar we discussed in the week, the topic we discussed was the prepositions and prepositional phrases. So just to recap, a preposition begins a group of words called a prepositional phrase. So a prepositional phrase includes a preposition and an object of a preposition. So if we look at this particular sentence over here, we took a rocket into outer space. So the prepositional phrase would be into outer space. And because a preposition begins the prepositional phrase, the first word would be the preposition, which is into. And the noun or the pronoun that it refers to would be the object of the preposition. So if we look at the sentence over here, we took a rocket into outer space, your prepositional phrase would be into outer space. And the object of the preposition would be outer space. Outer space. Okay. So now let's look at the some common prepositions. One finds about, above, across, after, along, around, at, behind, below, in, okay, and on, and all these type of words are called prepositions. Okay. If we look at the exercise quickly again, they are requesting you to write down the prepositional phrase and in each sentence. Okay. And then also you need to underline the preposition, okay? And then also circle the object of a preposition. So for us to find the object of a preposition and the preposition, we need to look in the prepositional phrase, okay? So now if we look at the first sentence, can you jump across that gully? So the prepositional phrase is across that gully. So the preposition starts the prepositional phrase. So what happens? So what happens here? The preposition starts the prepositional phrase. So the preposition in this sentence would be across. Okay. And the prepositional phrase would be across that gully. So what you need to do is you guys need to write across that gully over here and then also underline across being the preposition. Okay. And if we go to the second sentence, don't trip over a rock. So the prepositional phrase that will be written here is over a rock, and the preposition over here would be over, and the object of the preposition would be the rock. Okay. Number 3, gravity on the moon is very weak. So the prepositional phrase would be on the moon over here, and the preposition would be on, and the object would be the moon. Okay. And number 4, at night, the temperature here is very cold. Okay. So the prepositional phrase would be at night over here. The preposition would be at, and the object of the preposition would be night. Okay. So in the second part of this exercise, guys, we are required to basically underline the prepositional phrases in each of these two sentences. Okay, so if we look at this, number 5, the race to the moon ended in triumph. Okay, so the first prepositional phrase would be to the moon, and the second prepositional phrase would be in triumph. And the number 6, astronauts from the United States landed on the moon. Okay, so the first prepositional phrase would be from the United States, and the second one would be on the moon, and that is where we need to underline the two prepositional phrases. Okay, so that is basically a revision on preposition and prepositional phrases on page 363. So we will jump quickly, last but not least, to the following grammar page, which deals with prepositions as well. Okay, so here we are required to read the passage, then read each question and circle the letter of the correct answer. Okay, so now I'm going to read this quickly, this passage. Space project. Do you want to do a space project for me? I want to learn more. Which? The moon. NASA has a good site behind the internet. Let's go beneath the library this afternoon. People once thought there was life on the moon. The moon's climate is too harsh for living things, and no creature could survive for those conditions. Now, if one listens to this passage and how it is written, immediately there is some mistakes that one recognizes. Okay, so this exercise basically requires you to identify the mistakes and then also change it with the correct wording. Okay, so number one, what change, if any, should be made in sentence one? So the sentence one here is, do you want to do a space project of me? Of me. So number one, we would change, it would be C, because we would change of to with. Do you want to do a space project with me? Okay, so we will say now number one is C. And number two, what change, if any, should be made in sentence two? I want to learn more. Which? The moon. Okay, so in the question, in the sentence number two, we will change the word which to about, and this is how it would sound. I want to learn more about the moon, not which the moon. Okay, so that is why number two would be A. And number three, what change should be made in sentence three? NASA has a good site behind the internet. Okay, for number three. So we will change behind to on, which means NASA has a good site on the internet. So that would be C as well. C. Number three would be C. And number four, what should be changed to sentence four? Let's go beneath the library this afternoon. Okay. So now here we would change beneath to two. Okay. And it would sound like, let's go beneath, let's go to the library this afternoon, not let's go beneath the library this afternoon. And lastly, what change should be made to sentence seven? Okay. No creature could survive for those conditions. Okay. So we will change for to under. So it would sound like, no creature could survive under those conditions. Okay. So just to wrap up quickly, we did some revision on the vocab pages and also on the grammar pages. Good luck for the rest of your week. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.